A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special, Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, premieres November 22nd, streaming on Hulu.
Butterball knows Thanksgiving can bring so much joy, but also so many cooking questions. What size turkey? What's the best way to roast? How do I carve it? Don't panic. Butterball is here to help. Just give us a ring at the Butterball Turkey Talk line. We'll help with what's on the table so you can focus on those around it. Call 1-800-BUTTERBALL or text 844-877-3456 to reach our turkey experts. Butterball. Today, we turkey.
Ask me, ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them, we'll read them, then we'll give you answers. You know it, I've got it. I've got the answer, you ask me. I'll tell you anything.
It's Wednesday. You know what that means? It means it's Ask Iliza Anything Day because it's Wednesday, an arbitrarily chosen day of the week that we've used to bestow upon you fresh, hot-baked episodes of this podcast. Because Wednesday is a tough day for most of working America. It's hump day, coated in sexual tension. So let's get it cracking with some of your questions that we've got answers to. We got answers to all your questions, except for some of the dumb ones. Don't ask me about pineapple on pizza. Gives a shit. The answer is, it's tasty. Love a good pineapple. Speaking of pineapple, I had a party recently, and I decided to serve a Mexican fruit salad, which is really just fruit with tahini, excuse me, that's two different things, with tahini on it. And I had to cut up all the melon myself. And everybody always loves to shit. Are you listening? You have to say something. It looks like I'm just recording this alone.
But you're telling a story.
I know, but you can give a grunt.
Melon.
Yeah, fruit, hate it. Everybody always craps on melon. They're like, ugh, if you get a fruit salad, ugh, melon. First of all, in season, like hyper seasonal melon is angel tears. It's awesome. Honeydew, cantaloupe, I know. You're like, anything nutritious, out the window.
Why is that your description of something that's great?
I don't know why I said that. But it's so good. And I had to hand slice each one for how large a melon is, a watermelon, a honeydew melon, what's the other one? Cantaloupe. You actually are only eating like the core of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, it took forever. I almost lost a hand. And so I will forever respect. I even cut up a pineapple. That was tricky. Somebody giving me some fruit, just knowing that somebody had to slice that, or a machine, in which case, like, fuck that machine. But it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. And if it's not in season, a watermelon is just a vessel for whatever you're going to put on it. You know, like celery for ranch. Where'd she go? Okay. Anyway, we're here to answer your questions. We're here to get you through the day and send you on your way. Kiss it. I changed it.
Anonymous. Hi, Iliza, Emily, Scott, and Tofu. I have a twin brother who, not by choice, I am not close with at all. For example, when we both lived at home, we would go 2 weeks at a time without talking. I would try multiple times to start a conversation with a simple hi. As we got older, we're 25 now and both moved out, he still doesn't want to talk to me. Tried reaching out multiple times to try and mend the brother-sister friendship, but he never responds.
Oh, boy-girl twins.
Yeah.
Very sensual.
No, I'm just a concerned sister. He's never had a girlfriend that I know of. He doesn't ever come to family events and can even be one-worded to my parents. My mom is an overbearing Christian, while my dad is a shy, nose-down go-getter who runs a tight ship.
My dad is a shy Jew.
My brother is a shy, good-looking guy with a great firefighting job. He's got it all, except he has the personality of a wallflower. I know it's because of my parents, but I'm his sister. I feel like he thinks I'm like them, even though I've never given him a reason to believe so. I truly want the best for him. I just want to learn more about him and see how I can help him come out of his shell. How can I help if he won't talk to me? Should I keep trying or leave him alone? Help. P.S. No, we've never had twin telepathy.
No, obviously not. You're like, we both had the same twin telepathy, and it was of our mom naked, and ever since then, we haven't spoken. A couple things. One, your brother is gay, and he doesn't know how to tell everyone.
No.
If he's not gay, period, next sentence, indentation, ignoring the last thought, your brother could just be weird. Some dudes are just like really quiet. Sometimes when you get guys that do jobs like that, like difficult, life-threatening, like tough dude jobs, they're just kind of introverts. And like that's how they share and express themselves. You know, you get just kind of like the shy, strong silent type. You know, again, my advice is always like put this all in a letter, you know?
Yeah.
Or ask him if you can take him out for a drink or something. He also just might not like you.
I wonder, because even though this person is, I think, coming from good intentions, they also are a little pushy about it. They're like, this guy is living his life in a way I want to help him come out of his shell. Maybe he doesn't want to come out of his shell.
I mean, everybody wants to come out of their shell.
You don't know that.
But there is, I think you hit it on the head. He might think you're like mom, and he may not like mom for whatever reason. Boys and their moms are super weird. You know, maybe on his own terms, be like, whatever you want to do, I'd love to do it with you. I just, you know, our parents will be gone one day. We'll only have each other, and we don't have to be best friends. But, you know, I know it's weird. We go out, we have the same face. It's uncomfortable for people. Just share with him how you feel. That way, at the very least, you've extended the olive branch.
Make sure that you want to hang out with him because you want to spend time with him, not because you think you can change him in some way.
That's a great call. And Emily says that as a twin who I don't think they like each other.
We like it. We just don't talk, but we texted for our shared birthday.
I have siblings that I go very long stretches of time without talking. And I think also maturity, you'll get, even though you're in your 20s, like my brother's relationship from our 20s versus our 30s is vastly different. And part of that is due to him maturing. I say that as a compliment, but it was also kind of like a dig. So yeah, that's a great call. Your advice is better than mine in this case. Frame it.
Twins.
Post it.
Okay, anonymous. Hello, Eliza, Emily, and Scotty.
By the way, in the movie, that's when the station manager comes in. They're like, the phones are lighting up with your advice. All of a sudden, it's Ask Emily and Eliza.
For one episode, and then something goes awry. I send them to their death, and then they're like, Eliza, please come back.
Or I can't make it one day, and it's the premise of Straight Talk, which is like nobody listening gets that reference.
I have almost bought that movie. I've never watched it, but I've seen the cover of it at DVD stores. It's the perfect premise for any TV show pilot, any movie. Like, I don't know anything about nothing, and then you answer the phone, and they're like, hey, you're a star. I've seen that Blu-ray cover so many times. Next time I see it, I'll buy it.
That and 9 to 5.
Oh, that song is so good.
When a straight talk goes, 9 to 5 is when you live.
Hello, Eliza, Emily, and Scotty. So I know y'all are busy as shit, but because of you pushing native deodorant, and I went and bought some, and it's a game changer for my pits. Thanks for advertising.
Yes!
Actually works and are wonderful.
Of course it works. Why would I lie to you?
Oh, this is a DM. You can mention my tag. Travel grad 2012. But okay, so P.S. My favorite scent is Cypress and Ginger.
I'm talking. Go on.
Travel grad. P.S. What items advertised on podcasts?
Wait, what flavor did they use?
Cypress and Ginger.
If you just push through me talking, we're going to miss all my gems, and no one's going to hear you.
I was just trying to
Cypress
get the question out.
You did it again. Cypress and ginger is not a native deodorant flavor.
Are we sure?
Pretty sure. I've never said so. I mean, maybe don't look. Don't look. Look it up. Because now something rotten in Denmark. Something foul afoot. And it's your pit.
Yeah.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It's a rich woodsy scent.
Sorry, when they give us some of the copy points,
I say the main ones.
Yeah, I say the ones that normal people use. Cypress and ginger. That smells great.
They're seasonal.
It's got to be a dude texting then, because
they also have tequila, bourbon.
What?
Tea tree and sage.
Why is this not in the copy? Why are we not getting these for free? Okay.
But here's the question.
Well, if you mix cypress and ginger and tequila, do you kind of get like a Moscow Mule or vodka? Okay. Drunken pit.
Fall has fallen. Winter is on its way. The days are shorter. But just because, they feel shorter. And just because the days feel shorter doesn't mean your to-do list gets any shorter. You still have to power through your busy days. And a great way to do that is with nutritious food from Factor's no prep, no mess meals. At the end of a short day in the fall or the winter, the last thing you want to do is have to cook. Factor has got you covered from breakfast, snacks, dinner, anything in between. Factor has easy, nutritious options to keep you fueled, like their chicken Florentine with spinach and garlic chili cauliflower. You bet. That's what I want to make myself at the end of a day where I am exhausted and my husband isn't home. Whether you like routine or you enjoy mixing things up, Factor has you covered with 35 different delicious meals every week and over 60 additional convenience options you can add on, like keto cookies, pressed juices, and smoothies. And because Factor meals are chef prepared and dietitian approved, you're going to love not only Factor's meals taste, but also how they support your goals, even if your goal was just making yourself dinner. Head to factormeals.com/Iliza50 and use code Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month. That's code Iliza50 at factormeals.com/Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
The holidays are here. And for a lot of us, the holidays mean decorating, hosting, celebrating. For me, it means a lot of traveling. And nothing feels better year-round, but especially during the cozy holidays, than a restful night's sleep in soft, luxurious sheets. Boll & Branch's signature sheets are made with the finest 100% organic cotton, and they get softer with every single wash. You already know that I got Boll & Branch this summer when I needed breathable sheets to sleep in, but this holiday season, I'm actually gifting some of my friends and family Boll & Branch's Ultimate Softness Bundle. I get to choose a signature hem sheet set in any color, a signature hem pillow set, and a waffle bed blanket. And they're all getting juniper because I think it's a classy color. This way you know you have something nice to sleep on when you visit. It's the perfect gift for you and them. Gift you and your loved ones a better night's sleep with Boll & Branch. And right now is their best offer of the entire year. For 25% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets, head to bollandbranch.com/Iliza. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/Iliza for 25% off. Limited time only, exclusions apply. See site for details. So finally, fall is here. I have been looking forward to it. I have had a hard year in a good way. You know, like I had a baby. I have been on a nonstop tour, nonstop traveling, and it's been hot. So I'm looking forward to, of course, pumpkin spice, everything, cooler weather, and slipping into a cozy sweater from Quince. I've talked about Quince before. Quince has beautiful leather jackets, cotton cardigans, soft denim, and so much more. All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Dressing expensive doesn't have to be expensive. Their clothing is beautiful, it's durable, it stands the test of time, and it's what I like to call a capsule wardrobe. I got an Italian wool cocoon coat. That's one of those, you know, it's got like a European collar and it covers my butt so I can walk around New York City and not be chilly. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. Get cozy in Quince's high-quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/Iliza for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Iliza to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Iliza.
What items advertised on podcasts have been game changers for you? Now, I know you don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but I'm curious to know, is there anything like, have you seen a TV ad? Have you seen like somebody posted on social media? Like, have you ever actually bought anything you've seen?
Yeah, I've done it on Shark Tank. I always pride myself when I go out. I'm like, I know that. Phantom Bagels, Shark Tank. You want to know something weird? Okay. Shark Tank had years ago, I should have brought this up when we had our Shark Tank lady on. Mindy, we had Mindy on. Years ago, there was an advertisement on Shark Tank for a customizable chocolate bar. And the guy I was dating at the time turned out was... Oh, I did? All right. Well, that was pretty interesting. Bite. Oh, I guess they're not a sponsor. The toothpaste that I use, that's like little tablets so we don't use plastic.
No, but they're kind people.
Yeah, they're kind people.
You saw
Buffy
them on the
comforter.
internet.
I love my Buffy comforter.
It doesn't just have to be yours. I mean, like, are you seeing things online and you seek out plastic-free things and you follow Instagram, so you'll see things that way.
Yeah, but those are just products versus like something that I've heard or seen. I have this, oh God, what's it called? It's a sunscreen. I think it's called Raw Naturals or something. It comes in a metal tin. Mm-hmm. Comes from Australia, which it's like, okay, are you offsetting the metal tin by the carbon footprint of like being shipped here? I don't know. So far away, but it comes in a metal tin, not a plastic tube, and you got to wear sunscreen every day. My Burst toothbrush, it's an electronic toothbrush. I was a big electric toothbrush user for years, and I swapped out my, not Panasonic, my whatever, the one that everybody has that looks like a 70s vibrator. That's how long I'd had it. For my Burst electric toothbrush, and I love that. I use it every day, obviously. Olaplex does a lot of advertising, and they have sent me product. I wish it came in a glass bottle. So I try to use it sparingly, but that is great for your hair. Mm-hmm. And then like Third Love. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed those bras.
Yeah.
They send great bras. I love that. So, you know, I try not to, when people offer me free product, which is weird, the more famous you are, the more you get.
Yeah.
I try not to say yes to everything because you will just end up with 15 eyeshadow palettes and hair care, like just tons of stuff. So I try to do it sparingly and specifically.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to like free clothing, I try to give it to someone because I'm a minimalist surrounded by stuff.
I've used podcast codes for things.
I'm a hoarder trapped in a minimalist body. Every day it's a battle. You're like, I'm a hoarder in a hoarder body.
Yeah. I'm hoarding.
Oh, and what's the smoothies that we use?
Daily Harvest.
Daily Harvest are tasty.
Yeah. I got some of those from your code. I've used your code for stuff. I've used other codes. I got Squarespace off from someone's podcast. I got Stitcher free from someone's podcast.
Yeah. So I wish I could tell you I don't listen to a ton of podcasts, but I scrutinize everything. I'm a buyer that does research, and by research I mean I ask Emily, look this up. But that being said, there are some products that are just good old standbys, like Cetaphil, great for washing your face. Sometimes you don't need all the fancy stuff. Most everything is not an innovation. Most everything is just the same stuff repackaged.
Yeah.
You have to do some deep digging to find out, this makeup company doesn't use aluminum, doesn't test on animals. Yeah. Everybody wants to make, there's actually a documentary on Netflix about it, but about like cheap things, fast fashion. Everybody wants to make a quick dollar, so they're just reselling you stuff. Bottled water is a great example. It's not better water. It's just plastic. You're part of the problem. So I think I'm helping the world by the things that I don't buy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a lipstick right here that I've had for over 5 years, and I still haven't used all of it. That's how.
Why is it up here?
Why is anything up here? Well, I mean, this office is just an ode to years gone by of a career. Kick it.
I know if you didn't have a career now, it would be kind of sad in here. But since you're doing okay, it's fun.
No, but it's not sad, and here's why. Because you should always have one room of your home or one corner where you keep all of your braggadocious accolades. Like one little corner is okay. If I had all this like Blanche artwork and all this stuff from fans all over my house, that would be sad.
And it's some cool stuff. Like people could have given you some creative stuff.
Shit. But still, it would be, especially because my dog is dead.
Yeah, that also makes it tough.
Not you, Tianfu. You're okay. Stick it. Stick it.
Alex Downs 711.
Finally, a name we can get behind.
We just found out my husband's grandfather, technically step-grandpa, was diagnosed with stage 4 liver and colon cancer. Ooh. My husband's life skill is pushing down emotions. He's always been very close to his grandpa. What are ways you suggest supporting and loving your husband while respecting his lack of emotions in this situation? He's not an emotionless monster, but he isn't one to emote on a large or any scale at all.
You know what? Look, I'm not married to that man. My husband is very emotional. Told me as much on like our third date. We are very in touch with our emotions family. That being said, sometimes Smokey Man pushes stuff down. I'm like, what's your problem? It's tough because not everybody's creative, but sometimes writing out how you're feeling is really cathartic. I did a project recently and it was really difficult. And I just got on the plane and I was like, I must write. And I pulled up a blank Word document and I just wrote to myself, not to show anyone, just have to process things. Sometimes people verbalize things really well, but sometimes writing just helps. And he doesn't sound like he's going to be a great writer, but it might, if you encourage him just to get things out, or maybe write the letter and give it to the grandpa, or just the idea of, you're not going to have time to say the things that you want to say. And some people are okay with that. I think we all have things that we want to say to people that we'd rather just never say. It's just because it's so uncomfortable. The truth is, it's his grieving process. So you can be there for him, you can encourage him, but you don't want to become a target for anger if he's like, I'm going to do it my way, So I think all you can do is just continue to try to encourage outlets for his expression. But if that's, that sounds like all you could do.
Yeah.
I would say punch a pillow, write a letter.
Yeah. And it's nice that you're
Then get in the comment section of Reddit and fucking go nuts on these whores. Hi, Tianfu. Oh, she found the other bow. It's filthy.
How did she find it?
She has 3 bow. They're disgusting. They smell like blood. And she brings them everywhere. And 2 of them I found, I'm turning into a mom, are being washed right now. I was washing them myself. And I was like, where's the other one? And she found it. It's white.
I understand where it went. It's not white anymore.
It's gray. And she's like, where the fuck is it? Give me that bow.
Give it back to her till we're done with this. And then we'll wash it now that we know where it is.
Oh my God.
She's like the Kool-Aid man.
She's like, she just burst through a shelf
I thought she would go around.
She's Chris Farley.
Oh my God. Are you okay, pal?
She's fine. She's like a big dumb athlete. I got to get through these blocks. What are those things football players run into in practice?
Where there's like people on them.
Yeah, that's her. She's like, at any cost.
Oh boy. Okay. We got a serious one. Okay. Anonymous. My husband is straight beaver cleaver family. I'm more respectable white trash, i.e. my 4.0 in college got my felony taken away. So, daughter's 6th B-Day. I had to hang back to wait for photos of
Wait,
my...
grades can do that?
I don't know.
You're like, I raped her, but then I got a 4.0.
Maybe it
no one
takes
remembered.
away in terms of your family's like, all right.
Maybe.
I had to hang back to wait for photos of my husband's mom and her 4 grandkids. Came upstairs and they had sung Happy B-Day and done the cake without me.
Oh.
The fuck? I was upset.
The fuck?
Took myself to a movie at a theater that has a bar.
Wait,
Had 2
where was
drinks.
this? At the house?
6th birthday of her child at her house.
Ew.
Took myself to a movie at a theater that has a bar. Had 2 drinks. Come home and my husband says it wasn't a big deal. Sidebar. His B-Day was the weekend prior. Made him a taco bouquet and a surprise party. Also planned all of our kiddos' B-Day celebration. So I came home from Zombieland 2. F yes. Hub says, you always overreact. I responded, fuck you. In comes brother-in-law who, in front of my 6-year-old daughter, pushes me up against the wall, finger in my chest, telling me I'm a POS. Husband does nothing. His visiting mother finally intervened. WTF, what do I do? This is the 4th time he has screamed at me like this, and this time my daughter saw, I adore you. Please help.
Oh my God. First of all, oh my God. Okay. You are white trash, but that's okay.
That's okay.
When you said taco bouquet.
I'm interested in what that is.
White trash or not, I don't care if you're the Queen of England. This is a specific type of man that like he isn't hitting you, but he's being very aggressive toward you. And everybody's just cool with it. This type of behavior tends to happen when we're younger and you don't realize, oh my God, that wasn't okay. That he put his hands on me. That wasn't okay that he shoved me and everybody else around you is complicit. It happened to me. Freshman year, there was this kid who lived next door who was a total spoiled brat. And he pushed me into a wall in our hallway, all because I was like, can you please turn your music down? Because we shared a wall and it was like rattling stuff off the wall.
Yeah.
Pushed me into a wall. It left a mark. Nobody did anything.
Yeah.
Because at, University of Kansas, we were in like a nice dorm. So I guess like his parents had money, whatever the fuck that means. And the only person who did anything was my psychopath boyfriend who was like, I'll wait for you outside. Like, let's do this. And the kid wouldn't come outside. Of course not. You don't want to ruin your collared polo shirt. And you don't process it at the time until later. You're like, oh my God, that's not okay. It's not the first time in my life. I've never been abused. I've never been sexually assaulted. 1 or 2 times where like a guy was like, this is okay to do because I'm angry. Mm-hmm. It is so 100% not okay.
Yeah.
And the mother doing that, first of all, the piece of shit, trashy brother aside, the mother doing that without you is so not okay. Now, were you downstairs doing drugs? Then I don't know. I don't know what they think of you. But it's clear that there is an absolute lack of respect for you as the mother and as the son's wife.
Yeah.
That is a big deal. It's your son. Clip, clip. It's your son's birthday.
Daughter, 6th birthday.
I don't see gender, Emily. And it's really insensitive of you to assign that. It's your daughter's birthday and you'd plan that birthday party. You're the mom.
You want to see the cake.
God, recently I watched an old home video of like a birthday party I don't remember at like putt-putt golf. And my dad was there with my stepmom, Barbara, but like they had just gotten married. And my mom was there. And I'm like, oh, that's probably not her favorite thing. Being at your kid's birthday party, single, with your ex-husband there who just got married and like having to put on a brave face. And I remember thinking like, but she was still there and she wanted to be there. Cause you know, that's your right. You gave birth to this kid. You're going to plan this mediocre birthday party. It's so rude. It's so crossing a line. And then for you to be, your reaction is not cool. Leaving the situation. And it's one of those things as a woman where you're upset and your feelings are right. And then because you're expressing yourself, people are like, well, what's your problem? Not a big deal. And they try to minimize it. Your reaction may not have been the coolest or the classiest to leave and go have a drink, because that shows, it makes you kind of immature. But what's 1000% out of bounds is his brother doing that to you.
Yeah.
That is, you could almost call the cops for that. Almost. Yeah. So you need to have a come to Jesus about your boundaries. Do not have a drink before you do it. And if your husband is not on your side, I think you got to have a serious conversation with that man.
Yeah.
He took like a vow. He should always be on your side protecting you. This isn't, and by the way, look, I don't know what you're like the rest of the time. You could be a raging alcoholic. You could be kind of a hothead. You can be like all these terrible things, but he is in a relationship with you and another man, any man, but especially another man putting his hands on you or even just aggressively pointing at you. And I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That the mother-in-law was wrong. And it's even more wrong that he did that. And for your husband to not intervene at all, maybe he's not pumped about your marriage anymore, but you need to get in his face and be like, or just maybe don't get in his face.
Don't get in his face.
But you need to have a come to Jesus with him and be like, do you want to be in this marriage with me? Because I will not be unsupported and disrespected like that.
No, that's
my
insane.
God.
That man should not be allowed.
No, and you know
in
what?
your home.
He's not allowed anymore either.
No.
Because one drink and then it gets more physical. That book Educated that I just read, which is fantastic. I didn't just read it. She has a brother who's physically abusive and nobody does anything. And he's like, and she lives in her life in fear. I was talking to my best friend Michelle recently. We were talking about these guys that we grew up with that were our friends who would never hit us or anything like that. But this normalcy of the normalization of physical fear of men that you're friends with. We had these friends, you know, we hung out with them, we did stuff, but looking back, I'm like, oh my God, they drove drunk all the time. And they were like a little chemically imbalanced. And you're like, oh, that's just them. But I said to her, I was like, looking back, like we were terrified. And it was just okay because like they were good old boys. And it's actually not okay. And when I had that realization, I deleted their numbers from my phone. I'm like, I'm not friends with these kids anymore.
Yeah.
We make it very normal that like, oh, that's just so-and-so. He's aggressive. He gives weird looks. He has outbursts. It's not okay.
No.
And you don't have to match them, you know, alpha for alpha, but you can draw your own lines and you can decide that that's not okay.
Yeah.
Oof, I'm sorry.
That man is not allowed in your home.
That man is not allowed.
You and your husband need to have a talk. Like, you need to communicate about things.
And the fact that he didn't jump in for you.
Yeah, that the mother-in-law had to jump in. I mean, it's...
I would start by talking to her first and be like, here's why it upset me. Calmly, here are the reasons why that's not okay.
I mean, but she didn't do anything.
No, the birthday thing. Just to be like, can you understand? Get her to admit, like, can you see why this would upset me? And then move over to the brother thing and just be like, he's not allowed.
Right.
I can't have that around my child.
No.
And just
It's
make
the
it all about the
fourth
kid.
time.
Anyways, now I'm angry for you.
Very angry. Yeah.
Oh, I should be your lawyer.
No.
Okay.
All right. Anonymous. Hi, Liza and the gang. Greetings from lovely Chicago. Saw your show last year when you were in Rockford. Outstanding. Longtime listener fan.
Was outstanding. It was an outstanding show.
My question for the podcast. Recently, my longtime boyfriend, a 5 years older brother, went through a divorce. All of us are in our mid to late 30s. I was pretty damn close to his now ex-wife for years. We would hang out almost every weekend doing random things like brunching to shopping to just enjoying each other's company. I am also close to all of what was their mutual friends. We created ourselves a little group of friends that went strong for many years. Okay. Now that they're divorced, she's still a friend of mine, and I actively try to engage with her, whether that's just shooting her a text saying hi, seeing how she's doing, to trying to hang out. Either it's a one-word reply or days go by before receiving that one-word reply. When the news broke that they were divorcing, she proclaimed to me that she still wants to remain friends. Well, in a nutshell, that's been much harder for me to maintain with her now that she's moved on to greener pastures. This isn't the first mutual couple/friend of ours that is divorced. The last one simply just vanished when it came to maintaining a friendship with me. How do I manage a friendship with her currently without being overbearing, but also without stretching myself too thin over something I should have probably just left in her court to do? I like her. I want to remain friends, but she's clearly moved on.
Who cares? Next question. What doesn't matter.
You don't need to be friends with this person anymore.
It's fine. If she was making an effort, or if you guys were like soulmates, I get it. But no, you don't need it. Your friend groups are going to endlessly, they're shapeshifters. A friend group is a shapeshifter. The landscape of your friendship from your wedding to your mid-30s to what you're going to be friends with in 5 years is ever changing. The people that I invite to parties, I look at my annual Christmas party and the group I have now is very different from the group I had before.
Just me hanging in there.
Emily lingering in the back, touching all the food. You don't need to worry about it. You tried, and she's probably a little uncomfortable. You know, it's a little weird. You don't know the details of the divorce. Move on. It's fine. Yeah. It doesn't matter. This is not your sister. This is not, anyone. It doesn't matter. If she were making an effort, great. You'd be friends with her, but no. Your allegiance in this situation, since she's not making it any easier, is just to your husband and his your brother, and you move on. That's it.
Anonymous. Hey, all context. I have these 2 girlfriends I've been close to for about 3 years. We do a lot together when we have time in our busy lives. Both are very uplifting to be around, but lately I've been feeling like the compliments and other signs of love are forced. They both show me how much they care about me in such over-the-top ways that now I've been suspecting that it's disingenuous. For example, we went to dinner and a show, and one of the friends commented on my makeup for the night so many times throughout the night that by the end I was sick of hearing about it. Yes, my makeup skills are improving, but it's getting annoying hearing about it every 10 minutes. My question.
Yes, I cover up the horn.
How do I tell them I appreciate the compliments, but I don't need to hear it every 10 minutes? Thanks for being amazing. Gift kisses to Tofu for me. That's interesting because I think about this.
Are you thinking about complimenting me?
No, yeah.
Yeah, complimenting me.
Sometimes you'll hear, like, somebody will compliment something and you can tell, like, you're like, but that's not even true. Where you're just like, what do I even do with that? You don't have that?
Is this a situation where like you're the cool girl and like they're not as cool and they just want to keep hanging out with you?
Maybe.
Because that's the only reason to like over compliment. Or are you the loser and they're just trying to make you feel good?
Either way, I worry myself that it's the second one. I'm like, why do you keep telling me this? Like, it's fine. I'm fine.
Are you okay with being like, I know you told me? That'll just throw a wrench in it.
But it's also hard because if they are being genuine, you don't want to like.
She says they're not being genuine.
Well, she feels
She
feels
feels
like it's
disingenuous.
weird because it's happening so much.
Oh, you're drinking your water from an Iliza Schlesinger sketch show bottle. I didn't even realize that. I don't know. I love compliments. I'd be like, thank you.
But
Thank
if
you.
somebody just kept complimenting on you on the same thing, like, no, but really, your dress is so great. Wouldn't you at a point be like, no, I know. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like they think you need it, maybe.
I mean, if you guys are really close, I feel like you can be like,
Something's
I
going on.
really appreciate that, but that's the 5th time you've said it. Is something up? Like, am I like?
Do it. Just say it.
Is something
Say
going
it.
on?
Say it. Just get it out there. Be like, you said it like 5 times. I just now, you know what you say? Like, now I'm starting to feel like I don't normally dress nice and you're like reinforcing this.
Right.
I don't know. That's tough because you don't want to offend anyone.
I think you want to say, like, I really appreciate, like, you guys are such good friends. Like,
One thing is for sure, the dynamics are off in this relationship. So either you're at the bottom of the totem pole or you're at the top. But either way, it sounds like you're not comfortable with that. So I would figure out, are you the cool girl? Are you Regina George or whatever the other girls were?
Gretchen.
And by the way, like maybe you could do something to level the playing field. Like if they're not cool, you can do something that makes you all cool. Or if you're the dork, like, I don't fucking know. That's weird.
I think
but say something.
you
Make
could
sure
talk
I'm
to
comfortable. Say
them.
something. Be like, this is the 5th. Be like, you said it like 5 times, and now I'm starting to get nervous
Yeah.
that you don't feel this way.
I think you can acknowledge that you appreciate the compliment, but also say why it's making you feel weird. Because we're not going to be able to figure out what's in their heads.
I've noticed that, at least since I've had my babies, that I smell differently when I sweat. Maybe I'm just like getting older. I don't know, but I smell differently. And I don't love that. If I'm on set or if I'm on stage or if I'm doing anything like functioning in public and I don't want sweat stains or to be aware of my stinky, stinky pits, that's when I turn to Lumi whole body deodorant because it keeps me smelling fresh all day. Lumi is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, under boobs, right ladies, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, your feet. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. How? Well, unlike certain traditional deodorants that may try to mask odor with a fragrance, Lumi is formulated and powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack. That equals over 40% off the starter pack. Use code Iliza for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code Iliza at LumiDeodorant.com.
A hilarious new stand-up special from comedy legend Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, is coming to Hulu November 22nd. This Thanksgiving, see Jim in a whole new light as he gives you the inside scoop on everything from parenting teenagers to weight loss and gaslighting family members. For everyone in need of a happy hour, the new hilarious stand-up special, Jim Gaffigan, The Skinny, premieres November 22nd, streaming on Hulu.
Anonymous. Hey, Liza, I'm a massive fan from Down Under. I'm 20 and moved by myself to a different city at the beginning of last year.
What's the city? Name the city.
To go to university.
Okay, not American. Moving on.
I'm a massive fan from down under.
I know, but not at American University because you wouldn't call it university.
I have 2 siblings that still live at home. My mom is a primary school principal and often won't switch out of her kid voice when we speak on the phone. Generally, we have a really good relationship, but I don't know how to tell her that I'd enjoy our conversations a lot more if she spoke to me like I'm an adult rather than an 8-year-old.
Just like that. Next question.
How do I tell her this without hurting her feelings?
No, just like that. We all have a right to express ourselves and say, here's how I prefer it. I mean, I don't know what 8-year-old sounds like. Is it like, well, and how was your day? She probably doesn't even realize she's doing it. I don't think it's going to hurt her feelings. She sounds like an intelligent woman. So just say to her, Mom, I want to talk to you like adults. And I feel sometimes that you'll always see me as your little, are you a boy? It's a boy. I don't know who's writing this. You always see me as your kid, but I want to talk to you like adult. I want to converse like adults. And then when she does it, kind of be like, see right there. She'll be like, oh, I didn't realize it. Hello, Kim. Hey, Sharon. Just say it. You guys, I won't have a podcast if we all do my advice, but just say what you're thinking.
I think if it comes from a place of, I love talking to you, I want to keep talking to you, and I would talk to you even more.
Sometimes I notice you talk to me.
Right.
So maybe we could, we don't talk the first hour you've gotten off work.
Yeah.
Just give you a chance to de-child.
Right. Yeah. Anonymous. Hey, Iliza, baby, I'm Scotty. My father-in-law is an interesting man, a charmless, stubborn old grump. His first wife, my husband's mother, suddenly died when my husband was 4.
Suddenly.
He remarried.
Said he was charmless. He said he was grumpy.
He remarried 3 years ago to his girlfriend of 10-ish years. My sister-in-law has 4 kids now under 7, and my father-in-law won't let them call his wife grandma, even though she's been pretty much part of the family before they were born. The kids call her by her first name. His reasoning is that they already have a grandma, his deceased first wife. How can I be sure this doesn't happen with my kids? I want my kids to call her grandma or whatever cute grandma name she likes best.
Maybe pick a different name instead of grandma. That clearly, the second you said it, I was like, oh, that's how he feels.
Nana.
I mean, my mother is a grandma figure to my stepdad's grandkids. So my stepbrother has a family, and my mom has been there since they were born. You know, she's been married to my stepdad for like 20 years. And they have a grandma. It's my stepdad's ex-wife, who I think they call grandma. But I think they have like a fun name for my mom too, because she does grandma duty. She brings them presents and she reads to them and stuff like that, which is the role that your dad's or father-in-law's new wife is going to fulfill. So maybe reserving grandma, but the rule is whatever garbage name the kid says is what the grandma's name is. That's how grandmas get names like Gim Gam.
Yeah.
My Guam Guam. My Guasha.
Because I've got, on my mom's side, I've got grandma and Bubba, because that's what he wanted. He thought it would be easier to say that.
Bubba.
He wanted the name
there you go.
first. And then on my dad's side, I never knew my actual like grandpa on that side. He died before I was born. And so I've got Nana and Grandpa Bob. So
there
we
you
called
go.
him Grandpa Bob.
There's got to be some way to and maybe ask the lady, does she care? Because, you know,
What does she want to be?
What does she
There's
want?
So many name options.
maybe her name is Barbara. You call her B-Bar.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be grandma. It can be Nana. It can be, you don't sound Jewish, Baby. But there's got to be a name because you want your kids to feel comfortable. So he's allowed to say no grandma for personal reasons, but pick something else. Your Gigi.
It is tough though if they've never even met
I know, but it's
grandma.
You know,
But I
yeah, you have that convo. Pick another name. Like just inch him toward, like not grandma, but how about Gam Gam?
Yeah.
How about Gimlet?
Like the step grandpa I call Grandpa Bob. Like
How about
it could
Giblet?
be Grandma Karen.
There you go. Grandma Karen. Graham Cracker. Crackers. Crackers and soup. Call her soup.
Anonymous. Hi, Iliza. I love the podcast. Recommended it to so many of my friends. Love rehashing episodes with them. Straight up when my job sucks a joy for me, I pop in my earbuds and rip a sweet hit of an episode.
Oh, yeah. Fucking
Thanks for making Wednesdays great. Speaking of work,
No.
you frequently say you teach people how to treat you, and I love that mentality, but I struggle with it at work. I always want to be helpful and be a team player, but over time I've found that my coworkers take advantage of that. I'm asked to help do things that are technically not my job, but you know, that whole other duties as necessary shit in the job description, so I help. This cycle keeps repeating. Someone will ask me to help coordinate a meeting, set up food for a meeting, take notes, etc. The list goes on, but I feel like it's not that they need help, they just don't want to do it themselves because they're quote unquote too busy or above it. How do I convey I'm a team player but not a go-to grunt work bitch? Thanks.
Oof.
That's Interesting.
Here's what you do. You sidestep all these motherfuckers. You go to your boss and you lay out for them, here are the ways that I've helped. Here are the things that I've implemented. Here's how I've gone above and beyond, and I would like a raise or a new job title. That's what you do. That's how you shake them.
Okay, but day to day,
I don't know. I've never had a job like this.
okay. I there are certain things that that I have taken on in my life as just it's easier for me to just do it, and then certain things
What does that mean?
like
Because you work for me. So what does that mean?
in any job, I think there are certain tasks that may not fall under exactly what you're supposed to do, but it's easier for you to just do it and know that it's gotten done correctly. Like when I worked at a different job, not with you, the job you took me from, they always wanted me to have an intern, and I was like, always like, oh, that's going to be more work to come up with work for them to do. But there are certain things that you can do very quickly, and then things that will take more time. And at that point, you have to also pull the card that everyone else is pulling, that you're busy.
You know, I wonder, are these people your subordinates, or are these people slightly above you? Or, you know, like, because you don't want it to be like we're all the same, but they're asking me to do the grunt work.
Yeah.
So I don't know your job titles. You can just say no. You can say, I'm busy right now. And then maybe even give them a task. Be like, and when you come back, I really need this, whatever. You know, it's, and also make sure that when you're doing this work, somebody is seeing it. Because somebody who's trying to get ahead of you will have you do all that and no one will ever thank you. And it'll be like, that's just what she did. So you don't want to get demoted in any way.
Yeah.
Keep a list of all the things that you do and make sure that you have somebody that's watching you so that they can reward you for it later. Being a team player, first of all, none of us really want to be team players. You want to do your part and do it well, which means that you're part of a team. If you're on a team, if you're on a baseball team, you can't hit a home run and also catch it, which would mean you're on the different team. You can't play two positions.
Yeah.
You know, you can just, in basketball, you have your zone. You might pick up someone else that comes into your zone, but if it's man-on-man defense, you got the one man. So decide for yourself what you will and won't do. If you do feel it's beneath you, if nobody else will do it, that's great. But make sure, it's different when a CEO of a company is like, fine, I'll set out the fruit. But if you're constantly doing it, you can just start saying no, as long as you have something else to do.
I wonder if this is a case where you can gather all the things you've been asked to do and ask for an intern or an assistant or something and be like, look, I'm having all of this extra work put on me each week. Like just make sure you're recording exactly what it is you're doing outside the scope of your job. So you
keep
can
notes,
assess.
not to be goody two shoes, but just so when rubber meets the road and time comes for an evaluation, you can be like, here are the things that I've done. Here's all the slack that I've picked up.
Yeah.
But if it really is, it's someone in the same position as you being like, can you set up the meeting? Saying no.
Yeah.
Be like, you were asked to do it and I've got stuff to do.
Yeah.
You know, if they were asked to do it.
Right.
You know, so you're within your rights. I don't, again, know your position to set up a meeting and be like, I just want to say I am the team player. I want to help out people, but it can't be that I always do the jobs you don't want to do.
Yeah, I think it's also easy to peg someone who does go above and beyond, who does extra. Like I have to be conscientious of not doing that to your manager's assistant because she is so great at everything, and I have to be like, okay, I'm not just gonna shove this off on her when I can get it done. I know she has 800 things, but she's just like she's such a powerhouse.
Yeah, it's like just because you want to make sure that they respect you and that you are all in the same playing field, and because you don't want to be like, I'm not doing that. And they're like, well, technically you're the assistant, so
right.
It's also kind of not up if they're your superior, it's kind of not up for you to decide. Like there are plenty of times it's kind of not for you to decide like, oh, they can do it. There are plenty of times there's stuff that I ask you to do and I'm like, she's going to know that I'm just staring at my computer. But I need the time to stare at my computer. You have brain silence.
Can you imagine if every email you sent me, I was just like, I think you got this.
I know. There are also days where I'm like, go home. I have to just stare at the wall.
I know. Yeah,
Good luck.
that's why it works out. It's symbiotic.
And then you get to stare at the wall.
Maybe talk to, I would be curious to know if you have said anything to your coworkers, like, look, I feel like I'm being overloaded with a lot of extra stuff. Would you mind picking up some of this slack?
Ask them a favor. See if they do it. Yeah. Then it's a real team. But if they're like, then you know that you're
to kind of see where you fall and how it's going to shake out.
Assess your place in the universe and strike.
But good job being a good worker.
Good job.
Anonymous. Hey, Liza and Emily, big fan of the podcast. Listen every week. I was in a relationship for 3 years, didn't work out. No cheating, nothing like that. Just hit a really rough patch and it stopped working. It's 2 years later. I still can't move past it. Think about her every single day. It has affected relationships while trying to move on. Just nothing seems to come even close to her. She's still single too, by the way, so I often wonder if it's mutual. What else should I do to move past this? I've actively dated and gone to therapy and leaned on good friends that have my back. Can't figure it out. Now, I brought up this question because I think we get this from the girls' side a lot. This is a guy that is having a hard time.
Yeah.
He's in therapy. He has friends.
Okay. It's totally cool if you. It doesn't sound like you have communication with this person. It's totally cool to check in with them. And what? And be like, I'm not trying to be a creep. I just want to let you know that I think about you. Because there's a chance that she's like, I think about you too. And you both are just nervous. You know? Maybe, hello, talking to you. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You're both still single. Everybody does that thing where you're single and then you like go back to your ex for like a little bit, even just for one night. What if she's over there feeling the same thing? I think that there's a version
Feel it out.
where you can say it. You can just be very sweet. Be like, I do not mean to blow up your spot. Maybe you are dating someone and I don't know. How do you know, by the way? Did you like stalk her on Facebook, Instagram?
Right.
Be like, I don't know. You know what? That's just be like, I don't know if you're dating someone. I just wanted to put it out there that I think about you a lot. And I'm not trying to be a creep. You know, that's sweet. That's a sweet
You
thing
want
to
to
hear.
hear I think about you a lot?
I think about you. Oh, whatever. Every girl's like, oh my God, me? I'm in your thoughts? It's me? Say it because you never know if she's feeling the other way. The worst that could happen is that you stay broken up and she's like, I don't know, or she doesn't answer.
Right.
Put in the email or the text or whatever, like, I don't mean to, like, LOL, be a weirdo. You can totally ignore this. Hope you're doing well, da-da-da. That way she can be like, yeah, I don't know. We're broken up. Be like, totally get it.
Yeah.
Wish you well. That happens. We all have those exes where you still think about them. Mm-hmm. You will find someone else. Nobody dates someone and then stays heartbroken forever based on just like a 3-year relationship. So it'll just take time. That's a long time to be with someone. And you haven't found anyone good enough. And that's okay.
Yeah.
People, and there are plenty of times where you're like, that person was the end all be all, but then all of a sudden you find yourself in love again. So send that text and then just know that it's going to take time.
Yeah.
You're okay.
How have you stayed humble in light of your success? I'm about to finish law school and I got the job offer of my dreams. I'm very excited for what my future holds, but I don't want to become some snobby douche. I know too many people who change once they start getting those paychecks. How have you maintained your level of chill and personality throughout your rise to success? Signed, Chris. P.S. Love the show. Want to attend your show in Cleveland so long as I have the spare cash. Sounds like you'll have the spare cash.
You just said you got all that paper. I don't know about people have such an emphasis on humility, and it's such a vacillating perception because, especially as a woman, just because you're confident, they might say, oh, you're not humble. And it's like, well, what about every rapper? What about wrestlers? What about athletes? All these guys are allowed to be like, yeah, I'm the best. And no one says anything. They don't check you for it. I always, maybe it's my education or my upbringing. And by the way, I didn't go to Harvard or anything, but I had a nice education. It's probably more of an upbringing thing. Humility is knowing, I think for me, being confident and being open about something when I'm nervous about it. It's so weird because when you're like, I don't know if I can do it, people are like, are you fucking kidding? You're going to kill it. People just want different things from you at all times. So really just kind of knowing who you are, staying true to yourself. And anybody that questions that, just know that they're fucking betas. When other girls get mad or when people say mean things, it's like, you're just jealous. And this has nothing to do with me. It's what I represent to you and you're projecting something on me. Humility comes in all kinds of forms. You know, I might be confident about something, but I try to give back to people and I try to be kind in moments. Especially for women, people love to be like, well, she's so tough. And it's like, have you ever met me? Are you someone on the receiving end of something nice I've done? I think people just get intimidated. The humble thing, you find, you're allowed to be a douche. I say mean things all the time. Who's the one calling you that? And like, who the fuck is that person? I don't know. Especially you're going to be a lawyer. I don't know what kind of lawyer. Like if you're a trial lawyer, there is no humility. Fucking get him by the throat. It's a case by case basis. My goal was never stay humble. I'm humbled every time I don't get a part, which is like, every day, all day. I'm constantly, part of this business is constantly being told you're not good enough, defeated. There's coded language like didn't respond to the material. I'm like, that's code for you're not famous enough. And just pushing forward. My goal is not stay humble. I am humble. I am like, there is humility and I do kind things. And if somebody doesn't see it, it's like, sorry, you weren't looking. I don't know.
I think being that kind of jerk it factors in a lot with like being oblivious. And if you're wondering this question, you're probably going to be okay.
Also, like, I would never go out of my way. There are plenty of people I don't like. I would never do anything to like make sure their job, they get fired or anything like that. Like, there are plenty of comics who suck and actors I meet who I don't like, but you're like, yeah, that person sucks. Find someone to talk shit about them with. But I'm never going to like go into a meeting and be like, don't hire them.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane and just cream rises at the top. But, yeah, this thing of like staying humble. It's also the later in life you become accomplished, the more humble you're going to be.
And you've done so great. Look, you've gotten a dream job. That's so exciting.
Also,
and you can be excited about that.
Having touchstones for that humility, you know, like people that have friends that have been with them for a while, or if your struggle's been a really long one, or constantly, you're not sitting in your mansion on top of a hill only eating caviar, you know? Staying in touch with causes that mean stuff to you. Keeping your friends and family close. So those are the things. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be a dick, though. Everybody's going to think everyone's a dick.
But sometimes.
Give me a break. No, don't go out of your way to hurt anyone, because that says more about you and how empty you are.
But you can be proud of what you've done.
Yeah, and if anyone has an issue with it, it's just because they're jealous. Like, that's all there is to it. Just realize most things stem from jealousy. Clob it. Cobb salad it. Top of the carpet.
Anonymous. Hello, Iliza. I am a 31-year-old female online dating in a big city. I've been on 3 dates with a guy, and the third date seemed like it went well with good conversation and a lot of passionate kissing. We tentatively plan to meet again, but in the meantime, he has suddenly decided to update his dating profile. It seemed like he hadn't updated it in a while, and I think it's weird that he is thinking of updating it after things really kicked off with the both of us. What should I make of this? The weirdest thing is that this has happened with me twice in the past with completely different guys. It looks like a pattern. They start dating me and then suddenly want to rev up their dating profiles. From Anonymous Single Lady.
Don't look at their dating profile. You already went on the date. Why are you looking at their profile? Don't look at their profile. Also, it's just a third date. You know? So you made out. Think of all the dudes that you've made out with that you're like, change my mind. It's just a make out. There's no commitment. This is why girls get labeled like crazy. It's just, you just made out, and that's cool. And I went out a bunch of dates with Smokey Husky, and Jody will tell you this. I was out at a bar with her, and I was like, should I invite him? I don't know. And she was like, because I didn't know, because when you get away from them, then you think like, well, I don't know, because I don't know. And, you know, it's scary and all that stuff. And she was like, invite him. And I did. And like, then that was that. He may not know that story. But that's that. He may have gotten home and he's feeling really good after that great date. And he interprets that as like, oh, what else could I do?
Yeah.
Your job is to show him nothing. I'm the best you got.
Right.
Don't worry about that. You know, update yours too. It's, you want a commitment, and and don't be desperate.
Right. As you go on the date, it's kind of like, oh, I'm realizing things about my, like, it would make sense that after a significant or mildly significant date that he would realize some new things.
But
that
by
he
the
wants
way,
to factor in.
There are plenty of guys you're going to go out with 3 times and they're going to be like, hey, let's make this exclusive. There are plenty of guys that are going to respond differently. This may not be the guy for you. He might be nervous. He might just take a couple more dates to get there. Mm-hmm. So just, it's cool.
Yeah.
Don't look at the profile. You already looked at it. There's no reason to look at that.
Don't look at it.
Move on.
Okay. Anonymous, how to deal with a creepy coworker? Context. I'm an elementary school teacher. I'm 30 and female. A father of a former student is now subbing in my school. He's at least 50, gross, and was a jerk to me when I had his daughter a few years ago when I was a newish teacher, so I already don't have fond memories. He was subbing as a para in my class. I think that's like a helper. So I had to spend a lot of the day around him. Then after school, I was at the copier and he was in the hall. He looked at me and goes, "Are you stalking me now?" Ew. I gave a little uncomfortable laugh because what am I supposed to say to that? But he gets all mock indignant and goes, "Don't laugh. It's not that ridiculous." I don't respond and just go about making copies. Then he is suddenly right next to me, continuing the convo. It was so sudden I actually jumped. My question is, how do I deal with this while still being professional? I love my job. His behavior isn't so blatant that I could go to a higher up and complain. Help. P.S. Can't wait to see you in CTE.
What's that, Connecticut?
Ooh.
Why is...
So he's a former dad.
God,
he's
you might just have to practice Old military tradition of sustain and maintain. And the old comedic tradition of ignore and don't maintain eye contact. You just might have to like ignore. I mean, you can go to, I mean, here's the thing. He didn't say anything inappropriate. He's just annoying. And you know what you can say, honestly, flat out? You can be like, I just want to let you know, you were not that cool to me when I had your daughter, so I'm a little uncomfortable around you. He'll puff up, he'll get whatever, but this is all, if this guy were awesome to you when you had a daughter, it would be cute. You'd be like, oh, whatever.
Right, are you stalking me now? But instead he's like, are you stalking me now?
He just has a bad sense of humor. He might be flirting with you. He probably is because he's 50 and you're 30, regardless of what anyone looks like. But you can flat out be like, oh, that's nice. You could even say, be like, you know, you weren't, I wish you were this nice to me when I had Susie.
Yeah.
And he'll be like what?
Yeah.
So you're allowed to say, here are the reasons I'm uncomfortable with you. And give him a chance to be like, oh, sorry about that. Or, yeah, well, you were a bitch. You'd be like, great. Well, then we don't need to interact with each other.
Right.
I know that's kind of harsh and I don't know how small that school is, but your feelings matter and your experiences matter. And you can just ignore this dude. And if he has a problem with you ignoring him, you can be like, I try to just keep my head down at work and do my job. And I don't know what you want from me.
Right.
Say that. Oh, it's such a thing. It puts people on the offense. I don't know what you want from me. Like, I don't want anything. Be like, great, then we're done.
Right.
It's very aggressive, but if he's making you uncomfortable.
Yeah. It does suck when it's just minimal enough that like you can't, like if you explain it to someone else, you kind of sound like it's not that big of a deal, but you know it's a big deal.
Because he hasn't crossed the line. He's just annoying. And
But
had he been nice to you before, this wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
So he's not being creepy. He's not being inappropriate. He's just annoying.
Yeah.
But he will cross that line.
Yeah.
And we'll be right there. Listening.
Be ready. Anonymous. Hi, Iliza. I'm 23 years old, married. I have a full-time job, as does my husband as an engineer. So we're doing okay financially. Regardless of this,
All right, good for you.
my mom keeps trying to give me money or pay for rent, bills, etc., which is extremely generous of her, but has sometimes in the past been a tool to guilt me into something that crosses my time, emotional, or mental boundaries by way of reminding me that she gave me money or has paid for things. If I decline the money, she gets very upset, tells me it's all she has left, probably a result of empty nest sadness. But it's also important to me to stand on my own and feel independent and not owing. What do you think I should do?
Stop taking the money because it sounds like you still take the money. Do not take the money.
Deal with the guilt of not taking it.
That way you don't have to deal with whatever comes attached to it. Your mom is probably doing her best. This is all out of love. You got to have a come to Jesus. My favorite term with her. Be like, I love you. It can't be that if I don't take this money that you're upset with me. Please spend it on yourself or we can go out to eat or something. But I have a policy. My husband and I have discussed it. We're not taking any money. Mom, we don't need that. Can you find another way to show me you love me? And I just don't want you to be upset with me. Turn it around on her. Be like, now make her feel guilty for trying to make you feel guilty. But whatever you do, do not take that money. And eventually she'll change her habits. Do not take that money unless it's for a ticket to my show. Do not take that money.
I wonder how she's sending it.
Yeah, she's just like slipping it under your pillow like the
Or
Tooth
like
Fairy.
my parents will direct deposit for like a holiday gift.
Okay, well, call
So
your
it's
bank and
hard
be like,
to-
don't allow
yeah.
it. No, she's not doing that. She's just giving it to her.
It's just cash.
Do not accept. And if she
Don't
does,
take it.
refund
Send it
it,
back.
send it right
Yeah.
back. Next
Yeah, yeah.
question. Kick it.
Okay. Care Bear 256. I am relatively new to my job, started in August, and have only met the boss a few times. The more I find out about her and her career, the more and more I look up to her and want to follow in her footsteps. She's also an impressive manager, and I would love to learn those skills from her. Do you have any advice on how to approach her and ask for career advice? She's 2 organizational levels above me, and while my direct boss is supportive enough for the day-to-day work, I do not feel he can give me a full picture of how to succeed in the mining industry like she can. Context. I'm an engineer working in the mining industry, and Boss Lady and I are one of 4 female professionals. We all have at least our bachelor's working at our location. My coworkers are all male. I did the math. My immediate group is less than 9% female. Boss Lady is rarely around as she oversees 2 additional sites, one of which is 2 hours away. My current location is commonly referred to as engineer daycare, and I really only have another year to figure out where I'm going next. Very excited to see you in Phoenix.
Here's what you do. I'm really good at stuff like this. First of all, find out where she lives. Not like not in a creepy way, but like, do you live in the same city? Because if she lives 2 hours away, offer to buy her coffee. Mm-hmm. Almost anyone will take you up on it. I would love to buy you lunch or coffee. Lunch is a little weird because she probably makes more money than you. And pick your brain. Send her a really respectful professional email. citing all the things you just said. You know, she might not like that you're a woman, but it sounds like it might be kind of like an industry that it kind of doesn't matter. Send her an email, be like, I'm so impressed by you, so in awe of you. I would love to just sit at your feet and hear what you have to say. Yeah. May I please buy you coffee? Here are several dates that I have coming up, but anything that works for you, I will work around your schedule.
Yeah.
Make it so that it's impossible for her to say no and say, I'll work around your schedule. I would love to buy you a cup of coffee. I just want to ask you questions and hear your story and learn from you. She will say yes.
Well, and even more so maybe than like wanting to get something out of it. It was really nice what you said about how much you look up to her.
Yes.
Like, make sure you hit that like you really respect her and that you just want to
say, I want nothing out of this other than to buy you a cup of coffee and hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
That's it. Write pretty much what you wrote to us. Write it to her.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm available whenever you are. I will work around your schedule.
Yeah.
Please let me buy you a tasty cup of coffee. Put in like a cute little thing. And a muffin, if you like. She'll say yes.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just a cup of coffee. You're not asking for anything. You're not going in for a meeting. Cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Which will turn into something very romantic.
That would be a great
So
story of two mining bigwig ladies fall in love.
You can call it shaft. Like a mining shaft. Maybe they both don't assume. Okay.
Hi, Emily and Iliza. I'm a huge fan of all your shenanigans. Thank you both for being you. My question. I got engaged 2 days ago. This was not that long ago. This was a couple weeks ago. I got engaged 2 days ago, and the race for maid of honor has begun with two of my friends. Friend A is a dear work and school friend. We talk constantly, and she is a wonderfully supportive, kind, and thoughtful soul. She helped my fiance plan the engagement. Friend B is/was my college best friend, but since her wedding 2 years ago, of which I was maid of honor, we really have not stayed close. Phone calls every few months, dinners like twice a year. She still calls me her best friend, took me to a bridal show, and is genuinely excited for me, but I think I want friend A to be my go-to person regarding all the wedding day mishaps. Friend A does well in emergencies, is a very chill person. Friend B stresses me out a lot. Any thoughts? Now, how do you tell B who she was the maid of honor for?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There are people who I was bridesmaids in their wedding and they weren't ones in mine. This is who you want. Hopefully she lives closer to you and you can be like, that's a big part of it. It is what you want, and anybody who loves you will understand that.
Yeah.
That's it. If B makes a big deal about it, she's a selfish bitch.
You could say A is really good in emergencies.
No, but be like, she helped plan, this, and she really wants to do it, and people be like, well, I want to do it too. And you're like, I really want you there. I want you there on my special day. I just think A, has really, the answer is you don't have to give an answer.
Should B be a bridesmaid?
Be like, I would love to have you as a bridesmaid. I do want you there. I want you to play a special role. You can help plan stuff with her.
Yeah.
But I just think that she's taken on more of a role and we're closer. Hopefully if you say we live closer, that's helpful. But
move so that you live closer to A.
There you go. Set up camp in her front yard. The answer is A, and the answer is it's your day, and this is what you're doing. And I don't know why people can't just get on board with what the bride wants.
B is gonna stress you out.
A.
Yeah. Hi, Iliza. Love your podcast, especially your specials. My question is,
it was A before you even said B, by the way, for me.
I know, and then everything about B was bad, and it was like, oh.
Yeah, there, you wrote it. You gave us your answer.
Yeah. Pros and cons, it's A. Anonymous, hi, Iliza. I love your podcast and especially your specials. My question is, one of my best friends lives with her boyfriend and their apartment is extremely messy and cluttered. I don't like going over there because the mess gives me anxiety, but I don't want to hurt her feelings by always avoiding going over there or telling her the truth. How should I handle this?
You can just tell her.
You got to tell her?
You just got to tell her. I mean, it's a little rude. You can go over there once in a while, but
at what point is it acceptable for someone else's mess to give you anxiety?
You know what you do? You go over there and you just, I don't know how messy it is. Do you have an issue where do you have OCD? And it's not that messy. I don't know. But go over there and just start cleaning. And just be like, this stresses me out. If it's your really good friend, you might have to go over once in a while. It's really hard to criticize the way someone lives.
If it's your good friend, well, right. Do you remember that episode of Friends where Ross was dating that
yes.
hot girl that had
She walked in, she just threw chicken on the floor for her pet ferret.
Yeah, and then he killed that
that
hamster or whatever because he thought it was a rat.
There's no reason to have to go over to her house. There are parks, there are movie theaters, there are public spaces for gathering.
Yeah, I don't let people in my house because they'll have anxiety in there. It's weird that these people aren't aware of what their home is.
Yeah, it's weird. she'll thank you. And you'll be like, I didn't realize it was cluttered. You know, you kind of give people the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
So that's it. You have to decide if it's worth it to you to possibly hurt this person's feelings versus just like sitting on a couch with a bunch of shit on it. So
yeah. All right.
Sounds
Anonymous.
like you'll outgrow this friend though.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I wonder because it's at her boyfriend's. I wonder if the boyfriend is messy and that's the issue.
Probably not though. It's usually the girl. Women are dirty dust bunnies.
Anonymous. Hi, Iliza. I have a question about creativity and creating original work. I am an artist. I work in watercolor. I specialize in pet portraits. I've been doing art my whole life, but I have a hard time coming up with new ideas of things to paint. And sometimes when I have an idea, I'll see online that someone else has already done it, or I'll see something and go, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
I've been in a creative slump and was wondering what you do when your creativity is feeling blocked, and was wondering how you deal with the someone's already done it feeling. Thanks, love your work. I think you're amazing. Also, this person just replied as I was reading this. This doesn't have to be anonymous. So this is Jazzy Jordan art.
Jazzy Jordan art. She's like, cool, sick, free plug. Look, almost everything has already been done, and almost everything that's done is a take on something else. There are a lot of original things out there, but it's all inspired by other things. Some of the greatest actors steal. That's like one of the terms in acting is steal, because you're not going to do it the exact same way, especially when it comes to pet art, which is like a recent phenomenon. By the way, like, are you a local artist? Maybe people in your area need art. You're not a global pet artist. Yeah. Plenty of people do the same thing and put the same things online and they still run their businesses. So don't worry about, don't be a thief, but don't worry about what other people are doing. Paint, allow your painting to get better. You're not so great at painting that you've perfected it and you don't have to practice it. Keep painting, keep doing it, stay open-minded. When it comes to writing and jokes, I don't ever force it. I just decide I'm in an intake period, which means that I'm not producing any jokes, but I still get up at the Comedy Store and I still practice. And from running those practices, things get better and better and better. Even if it's the same jokes over and over, you keep adding things and jokes keep getting polished. So keep painting, even if it's not inspiring you, because you might have a brush stroke or you'll use a different color that day or you make a mistake that reminds you of something else. Go to a museum. Do you want to do a Baroque style painting of a dog? Do you want to do like hyper Catholic religious paintings of dogs? There you go. That's it. Don't worry about other people. It doesn't matter if somebody's already done it. That's like me being like, oh, I shouldn't write a book because other female comics have written books. Oh, I shouldn't want to do a movie because other funny women are in movies. Your take will always be uniquely yours. Just do it.
There also was, this is not a guarantee, but on Reddit, sometimes there will be commenters who will like paint pictures of things in a certain style. Like sometimes just taking weird inspiration from like somebody's comment, like people will write a poem based on a post or do one of those daily Instagram challenges where it's like every day you do like a certain thing from a list, like just to try to get yourself into a different spot and create things you may not have created otherwise.
As we're answering this, I'm looking around my office. I have 5 different pairs of socks that fans had made with Blanche's face. And each one looks incredibly different. Except for these 2 on the end, which were clearly done by the same company. But like one girl put a picture of Blanche with her own dog on the socks. One girl did just Blanche. One girl did Blanche with a psychedelic background. One girl did several Blanches. One girl did like a really close up of Blanche. So I'm saying like, yeah, they all opted to make me socks, but all the socks look different. I also have pop sockets with her on them. I've got about 10 of them and each one is different. So they're all paintings. Like all pet portraits are paintings. They may all have a blue background, but there's different types of blue. There's different things you can put in the background. It'll never be the same. So keep on at it.
Yeah.
Don't use this as an excuse for not practicing your craft.
Yeah. Join one of the communities. Like there's the writing, NaNoWriMo. Do one of the art things. There's a ton of great ones.
That's it. Kick it.
All right. You ready for Top of the Cob? You got something?
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite. Top of the cob.
Top of the Cob. I'm going to Vietnam in a couple days to do shows, and I'm very much looking forward to something called an egg coffee. This is what they're known for. People have all had like Vietnamese coffee, but egg coffee, I think it's like a custardy kind of thing, and I love creamy drinks. So looking forward to that egg coffee. Top of the Cob, Vietnam, Hanoi. I'll be there. It's a Hanoi thing, particularly, and I have several days there. So I bet an egg coffee will be my Top of the Cob.
My Top of the Cob is having a shirt that you know you're going to get compliments on.
Oh,
and
that's
wearing
fun.
it. I have a shirt that says Judy Greer should have been the lead.
I know that shirt.
And I love it so much. And there's not a single other piece of clothing I wear where I get so many people that come up and are like, what does that say? Oh my God, I love Judy Greer. Like people will show me their pictures that they've taken with Judy Greer. It's really become a magically unifying force. And it's just exciting to have like this very weird specific interest that other people are like, me too.
That's top of the cob. My bottom, this is going to sound ignorant, but I've done a lot of traveling. I've been to Angkor Wat. I've been to the Sistine Chapel. I sometimes grow weary of religious sites. It's more okay to say, like, I don't want to say any more churches because, like, you're allowed to make fun of churches. But temples as well. I've been to a lot of parts of Southeast Asia. Yes, there are beautiful ones, and there's always historical significance when things were erected. Of course, the rest of the world has older stuff than we do, but one can only take so many religious sites of it not being your own religion before you're like, okay, I lit the incense, I did the prayer, I saw the monument and the shrine, and I'm good. So sometimes I grow a little tired of that being my only cultural activity, which is why museums are great. But you can look at so many pagodas, so many churches, so many whatever else there is, temples and churches. Sometimes it's a bit much. Sometimes religion is all people have, and there's more out there, like egg coffees. What's your bottom of the cob?
My bottom of the cob is when you're sick without your parents and you're that kind of sick. You know that kind of sick where it's like you're achy. And if you were at home and you were a kid and you were off from school, like your parents would bring you soup and tissues and you would just lay on the couch and they'd be like, here you go. And you'd get to watch your TV. And then I was just by myself, like on my own couch. And I just kept calling my home and being like, hey guys. And they're like, hey, hope you're doing okay. Drink fluids. And I'm like, I have to get my own fluids.
You got to get your own. You got to get like your sick body in the car and go to like a shitty Whole Foods. Not even. Where do you go? Vaughn's?
No, on my drive home that day, I stopped at CVS and got everything I needed.
Oh, CVS.
But it just, and you just think about like, it's just so different when you're that like dead. I haven't been that sort of like chill sick in years and years. And it just brought me back to that, to being at home. Like, cause sometimes you stay home from school and you're a little bit sick. And sometimes you stay home from school and you're like, this isn't fun. I don't even want to be like this.
I don't want to be sick. I feel that way about muscle relaxers. Like when you're actually in pain, you're like, this isn't fun. I had that when I was shooting Spencer Confidential in Boston. I got sick on like one of like the weeks where like I wasn't shooting that day and I was sick and it was Halloween and I was like planning on walking around and I just had to scoop myself into an Uber to take me to a Whole Foods where I got like all this sick food and came back and I couldn't even eat. You don't know, you're getting soup and crackers and soda, but then you've eaten too much. And even worse is when you're sick on the road in a hotel and you just got your sad, like generic cough drops and like there's no way to get soup. So you're like, I guess I'll just have a salad. Like,
I got an email from CVS that was like, we saw you bought these 3 things. Are you doing okay?
We're just monitoring you.
I was like, oh no.
That's the show, folks. I think that was a good one. This one should be nominated for a potty. For a potty. We hope we've answered your questions. To the girl with the abusive brother-in-law, fucking put a muzzle on that motherfucker. The rest of you, stay sane. I gotta have a sign-off thing. Stay kicking it and have an egg coffee. Click it. Click it.
Butterball knows Thanksgiving can bring so much joy, but also so many cooking questions. What size turkey? What's the best way to roast? How do I carve it? Don't panic. Butterball is here to help. Just give us a ring at the Butterball Turkey Talk line. We'll help with what's on the table so you can focus on those around it. Call 1-800-BUTTERBALL or text 844-877-3456 to reach our turkey experts. Butterball. Today, we turkey.
It's time to have your high-five moment with High Five Casino, the top social casino where the action and real prizes never stop. Fun spins and big wins are right at your fingertips with over 1,000 games, including High Five Casino exclusives. High Five Casino is always free to play with free coins given out every 4 hours. Sign up today for a free welcome offer that can get you spinning and winning right away. Visit highfivecasino.com.
High Five Casino.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. Must be 21 years or older. Terms and conditions apply.